Isak signs for Liverpool in the summer transfer window as a major trophy is won. Liverpool and Isak have been part of the transfer window's biggest transfer saga. But what could happen if the striker made a move to Anfield this summer? Despite the signing of Hugo Ekitike and Florian Wirtz, another big attacking addition is potentially on the horizon for Liverpool, with the Reds interested in signing Newcastle United striker Isak. Last week, Liverpool put in an £110 million bid for the 25-year-old that was swiftly rejected, and as it stands, Arne Slot's side will not be returning with an improved bid. But with Newcastle closing in on RB Leipzig striker Benjamin Sesko, it could reopen the door for Liverpool to make another offer for the Swedish international in the coming weeks. Isak was one of the standout stars in the Premier League last season, scoring 23 goals in the league, with only Mohamed Salah managing more. So, what could happen if Isak were to make a move to Liverpool this summer? We used Football Manager 2024 to find out. Liverpool's 2025/26 season simulated with Alexander-Isak. To complete this simulation, we used Football Manager 2024 to sign Isak from Newcastle for their valuation of £120 million. We then simulated the 2025 summer transfer window and the 2025/26 season to see what could happen. Isak was instantly a starter for Slot's side, and apart from a few minor injury problems across the season, he was one of the first names on the tee sheet each week. In his first campaign with the Reds, Isak tallied 28 goals in 41 games across all competitions, the most at the club. Out of his 28 goals, 22 came in the Premier League, with the striker winning the Premier League Golden Boot ahead of Erling Haaland, 22. Salah was incredible once again, with the Egyptian scoring 16 and assisting 25 goals across all competitions, while Wirtz's debut season saw him manage 32 goal contributions. At the end of the 2025/26 season, Football Manager 2024 put together an overall best Liverpool 11, based on performances, statistics, and other metrics. This is what it looked like. Isak was the starting striker for Liverpool, with Ekitike missing out to Wirtz on the left wing as well. Dominic Szoboszlai made the best 11, though, as did Jeremy Frimpong, with Connor Bradley missing out, despite making more appearances across the season. Liverpool were poor in the domestic cup competitions, with Isak not featuring in either the FA Cup or Carabao Cup due to the Reds being knocked out in the fourth round both times. Slot's side were in a title battle with Manchester City and Arsenal for the majority of the campaign, but unfortunately, the Reds were unable to defend their title. I saw a 57-minute glimpse of exciting Liverpool plan after $106 million Arne Slot transfer. You can never read too much into preseason. An athletic club, though it finished fourth in La Liga last season, put up a limited test across both games in the Anfield doubleheader, but Arne Slot's new-look Liverpool attack is clearly shaping up nicely. Cody Gakpo was quite lively and scored twice, Mohamed Salah netted once and looked sharp, and Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike already look to be making connections. They have only known each other for a short time, but quality, intelligent players tend to gel quickly. Ekitike, in particular, will have surprised a few on his Anfield debut. While he cost a substantial sum, around $106 million, £79 million potentially, including add-ons, Wirtz was always likely to take the limelight. He is the superstar, club record signing. In the end, though, they both looked good. Wirtz excited the crowd with some silky touches and got a big ovation every time he went over to take a corner kick, but Ekitike sprinkled some of his own magic too. The 23-year-old French striker set up the opening goal with a lovely dribble and low cross. In his 57 minutes on the field, he pressed well and looked technically very good. While it comes with the significant caveat of this being very early days, Ekitike looked more polished and considered than Darwin Núñez. He didn't run offside, and lots of his touches were deft and clever. An appearance of less than an hour in a preseason friendly is not the time to be making sweeping judgments or bold predictions of what might happen when the proper stuff starts, but equally, there were positive signs here. He is a big talent, the former Red striker Michael Owen told Liverpool.com this week. I think it shows what Liverpool thinks of him, because Alexander-Isak was always in the back of their mind, and there was always the potential of going for Isak, yet they still went ahead with Ekatike regardless. It wasn't as well as, we're definitely getting him type of thing, and that just shows you how much Liverpool thinks of him. It's a big investment. There are lots of question marks, because coming into the Premier League is never easy. It's different. But yeah, a huge signing. It's almost like he's been slightly overshadowed because even though he's signed, Isak is still on people's lips. But it could be a fantastic signing. Last year, Ekatike scored 22 times for Eintracht Frankfurt. When Omar Marmush joined Manchester City in the winter transfer window, it was he who stepped up to fill the void and fire his side into the Champions League places. As Owen says, there is a reason that Liverpool moved decisively for the player when it could have looked elsewhere. At a relatively high price point, the Reds were still determined to get a deal done, beating several teams to the prize. Arsenal transfer news: Real Madrid star Rodrygo makes major call amid Liverpool hijack. The 2025-26 Premier League season is drawing ever closer for Arsenal. There's now less than 2 weeks until the Gunners' opening game of the campaign against Manchester United at Old Trafford. It all means there's still plenty of work for Mikel Arteta to do to get his squad in the best position it can be. 2 pre-season friendlies remain for the North London side to test themselves ahead of meeting the Red Devils against Spanish duo Villarreal and Athletic Bilbao. Those 2 games will give a host of new signings more chances to integrate, with ex-Chelsea man Noni Madueke finally expected to link up with his new teammates. Meanwhile, Victor Gyökeres, Martin Zubimendi and Christian Mosquera will all get the chance to step out at the Emirates Stadium for the first time. While Arsenal already have a host of new faces in situ, their work in the transfer market might not be quite finished yet. Arsenal remain keen on adding a new winger to their squad. Rodrygo looks set to stay with Real Madrid despite serious interest from the Premier League. Arsenal were previously linked with a move for the Brazilian wideman this summer, albeit there is competition from Liverpool and Tottenham. But it appears that Rodrygo wants to stay where he is. According to Spanish outlet AS, Rodrygo is now keen to stay at the Bernabeu and fight for his place under Xabi Alonso. Rodrygo believes he has enough quality to add to the existing options at the club, and that could potentially force Arsenal to look elsewhere for attacking recruits. Liverpool complete hijack. While Liverpool were potentially looking to rival Arsenal for Rodrygo, the Reds have already beaten their Premier League rivals in the race for one player. The Reds have confirmed a deal for Salford City striker Will Wright despite the Gunners having agreed a deal for the teenager. It was previously reported that Arsenal offered around £250,000 for the youngster, but he has instead opted to move to Anfield. Wright has already played for Liverpool's under-21 side after completing his switch to Anfield. French defender Jeremy Jacquet has turned down a move to Arsenal after an approach from the Gunners. It was suggested that the North London side had made an attempt to sign the 20-year-old. But Jacquet has rejected that opportunity according to Footmercato, and his current club Rennes are now attempting to rebuff any further interest, having offered the youngster a new deal until 2029. Arne Slot identifies Trent Alexander-Arnold's replacement at Liverpool after the Real Madrid move. Trent Alexander-Arnold completed a sensational transfer to Real Madrid and was officially unveiled during the FIFA Club World Cup 2025, leaving a significant void on Liverpool's right flank following yet another Premier League title. Now, with a new season on the horizon, Reds manager Arne Slot has reportedly identified the player who will step into the creative role vacated by the England international. Including his time in the academy, Alexander-Arnold spent 20 years at Liverpool, establishing himself as one of the Premier League's elite right-backs. According to WhoScored, he ranks 4th in the league for most big chances created since the 2020-21 season, with 89, an eye-popping stat for a defender. After spending more than €300 million in the summer transfer window, Liverpool signed Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, a right-back with a very different profile from Alexander-Arnold, now at Real Madrid. But while Frimpong offers attacking width and pace, Slot appears to be turning to a different kind of player to fill the creative gap left by Trent. Speaking after Liverpool's 3-2 preseason win over Athletic Bilbao on Monday, Slot singled out Florian Wirtz's performance. "I think there is always room for improvement in every department, and we have added a few, in my opinion, extra weapons. Florian has a lot of creativity in the final third, and we have lost, with Trent, a lot of creativity from the back." Wirtz arrived at Anfield in a blockbuster €125 million move from Leverkusen, becoming the club's most expensive signing. Naturally a number 10 who operates behind the striker, Wirtz has already demonstrated his versatility in midfield. His vision and creativity may be key to replacing the playmaking output once supplied by Alexander-Arnold. Liverpool set to begin European season next week. With their preseason tour of Asia wrapped up and a final friendly played at Anfield, Liverpool now turn their attention to competitive action. The Reds will kick off their 2025-26 campaign at Wembley Stadium, facing Crystal Palace in the FA Community Shield on Sunday, August 10th. Palace will be making their first ever appearance in the match after lifting the FA Cup, while Liverpool qualified after topping the Premier League last season. A win for the Reds would see them tie Arsenal with 17 Community Shield titles, second only to Manchester United's 21. Thanks for watching. Like and comment. Subscribe.